Everybody is looking for a good scare, but what if the scare finds you first? Tonight, join us as Ash reveals her bone-chilling encounters with the other side. Hear stories that will make you question the unknown and reconsider the shadows in the night. Ready to be spooked? Tune in, if you dare.
Oh, damn it. I haven't laughed this hard since Nom. Hey, everybody. Welcome.
Shit.
What do you... Okay, all right, can we start, please? Jeez.
Can we start?
Just
Can we...
start.
Okay.
Be
all right.
serious.
On you.
All right.
Be
Well,
serious.
you guys are... This is some serious shit. You guys are... Okay, here we go. Hey, guys. Welcome to
Yeah.
another episode of Nightmare Road. I, of course, am one of your hosts, Decon, here with the very, very mysterious...
SOS. And here with the, I don't even know what to call you at this point, but Messy Jessie.
Yeah, messy. Jesse, the chaos.
Yeah,
And
a special guest.
we have a special guest today.
So,
we have Ash.
But we mean special, like
What?
somebody that's like out of the ordinary. We don't mean like
We don't-
to use as like a special like ramp or like we need to like guide her place. You know what I mean? Like I don't want anybody
Yeah.
to like understand. Okay, but anyways, here we are.
Here we are.
Hello.
Hi, Ash. So we were chatting, and you have some paranormal stories you were going to, some things that have happened to you. And we're all about that.
Just few.
Just a
Just
few,
few.
huh? Yeah. I'm betting there's a whole lot more than just a few. If you have technical issues at work all the time, you probably, yeah.
There's actually a funny story about that. We were talking to my boss. We got on the conversation because I was talking about coming on with you guys. And he was saying how skeptical he is, etc. Talking about it for probably a good hour. And my coworker sitting at her desk, facing her computer, next to her, a magnet just flies off of her metal desk. And we were like, you see? Oh, really? And you still don't believe? Like, it was insane to me.
Wow.
Yeah, if I was there, I would have been like, "Damn, we're all really, really tired." That's just anything paranormal to me. Like, you just gotta be like really exhausted. Maybe it's just my excuse. I don't know.
Maybe it is your
with the
excuse.
decon?
I did. I grew up with it, and I don't know what it is. I guess that because I grew up in a culture where like everything is like so, paranormal and everything. I think that I'm afraid that okay, I know you said that like about a year ago. You're like, you're just afraid, and I was like, I fear no, but it's almost as if I'm like don't want to dip my toe too much in it because I'm afraid I'll go into the extreme version like everybody else. Like to me, everybody just looks dumb in places like Salvador and everything, and I just walk around like they're uneducated, And I'm afraid that I'll like venture into that too. Like next thing you know, I'll be wearing charms and all kinds of dumb shit.
Like he's Lucky Charms.
Yeah, fucking just throwing the box all over me.
So, Ash, what are some of your other experiences? Because that's really fascinating that something like that. Does things like that happen at your office all the time, or is it more with you, just around you?
I would say so when I first started at this job, my coworker Tilly and I got on the subject because I literally ask everybody I come across if they believe in the paranormal. And so we were talking about it a little bit, and she said, "Oh, well, we have a ghost inside the office." And I said, "Oh, really? Tell me more, spill the tea." And so she's telling me some stories like they've heard somebody talking with nobody there. They've heard somebody typing on the computer. Nobody's there, which happened today. And then the radio. So it's one of those old school, like 90s radios, like the turning knobs and everything. So super 90s. And you have to, there's no controller. You have to go up to it to turn it on and off. That's just how it is. So we will turn it off at night, every single night. Both of us do this. We're both checking things, and we'll come back in. It's on in the morning, check the cameras, and nobody's been in there.
Whoa.
But it just comes on. So it could be electrical, but still kind of weird.
Yeah, that's just one of
That
those.
you were Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, and for those of you people out there that hate your jobs, there's a really good possibility that when you die, you're gonna be doing it there too. There you go.
It's a ghost job. That's a ghost job.
I don't get paid enough.
Yes.
Well, today I
I-
thought it was my boss that had come in because he sneaks into the back and it sounded like him typing because he types like pounds super
Oh.
loud and you can hear him everywhere in the office typing. So I thought it was him. Texted my coworker Tilly and said, "Hey, Brad's here. Warning, boss man's here." And she goes, "Ashlyn, there is nobody back here," because she had walked back there. And I was going, "No, there was somebody typing. You were not typing. I was not typing. I was on the phone. Somebody was typing on this computer because I could
Wow.
clearly hear just the pounding of those keys."
But there for a minute, I almost thought you were describing me at work. It's like, wow.
You're like, wow, we work at the same place.
Maybe we do.
I had a coworker he was so frustrating because I love him to pieces. He is actually a Vietnam vet, and he would type like that. And
Yeah,
I'm like,
just-
just watching him type his name sent me into like I couldn't handle it. 'Cause it was
I
so
can't
long.
handle the way he types. It drives me nuts because it is so loud. I can hear you over myself, and I am literally sitting over myself typing right now, and I can still hear you.
Here's a question for you.
What's up?
So when these things happen, is it happening like at the same time, like or is it like just random? You know what I mean?
I would say random. It's definitely not weekly like today, and how the magnet flew off last week. That was weird because it doesn't really happen that frequently.
Oh.
I think I've been there a few months, and the radio has done the turning off and on thing probably 3 or 4 times. So
Yeah.
it's not like a constant thing.
Yeah, and with those radios, I mean, it's the hard knob. Like when you turn it on, it is on an insulator switch, and you gotta like literally like bypass it by forcing it by clicking it on. So it's not like today where it could be like the batteries are low or something's something like that's crazy. You have a well, is your like workplace, was it built like on top of a nuclear power plant that was struck by lightning on Friday the 13th on top of an Indian burial ground?
I really wish, but I highly doubt it where it's in the middle of downtown Blackfoot.
Yeah.
But downtown Blackfoot makes sense though, because you got all those
Got it.
apartments.
It's the potato.
Yeah, there you go. The damn potatoes.
It's the potato.
That was the name of the
The
damn
potato
meth head we shot
museum.
last week. What?
What? So, do other members of your family experience stuff?
My mom, so what you came out to my house for,
Yep.
that being that my daughter saw, my mom told me that she has seen the exact same thing, but she experienced sleep paralysis along with it. So I wasn't sure what she experienced there. I was like, that sounds more negative than what Emma experienced, because Emma's wasn't negative.
So, just a little background. We did come out to her house, and there's some activity going on. It's kind of
I didn't go.
it's kind of a really you weren't invited, Decon. I'm sorry. But
Sorry.
it's really it was kind of perplexing what was happening because I think the kids perceive it as being negative, but we really didn't feel like it was negative.
No. The room felt different, though. I remember you guys saying that the room felt like it was tilting.
Ooh.
And then I felt that same feeling in his room. I think it was either last week or the week before.
Really?
Felt that slightly like, almost like you were in a funhouse feeling.
Yeah, that funhouse effect was definitely real.
But it wasn't very fun.
and
It's frightening, I imagine.
it's not fun.
No.
It's not fun.
It was really weird.
So
And like this, I mean, my daughter's experience, she says that he currently sits at her desk at night. I don't think it's an every night thing, but she says that he just sits at her desk. So I just try to tell her he's not going to hurt you. He's just there watching you. He's there to make sure you're safe. Like trying to go off of that protective thing and make sure she's not afraid because I don't feel it's negative.
Mm-mm.
So
I feel like there's
just
a
no
lot of
way.
sensitivity going on in that place.
that's what I was
Like there's a
gonna.
lot of
That's what I was gonna ask. I was gonna ask the. I can't even call you guys the experts because there's no real expert in this field.
No.
Uh,
yeah,
No.
but the
I get the feeling that there is.
You
I,
mean at her house?
I do. I do feel like, is it Emma?
Mm-hmm.
I do feel like she has abilities, like
You
every
are
child does.
the fifth medium, well, a medium type person that has told me that about her.
Yeah,
oh, interesting. So,
Mhm.
Miss Messy Jessie. So you are a medium. I just
yeah.
found out. I didn't know. I just thought you wandered on the show. And it's like, oh, who's this person?
I could actually show you guys the room if you wanted me
I'm just
to.
messing around.
You want you said you would you
Yeah,
said you would show us the room? Okay.
it's definitely not clean right now because the kids were playing in it all
Just
day, so don't mind the toys everywhere.
yeah, just blame the poltergeist. Like, oh, the poltergeist messed up the house.
Yeah.
It was clean.
So,
Can I turn
Yeah.
Jesse,
no, it's not letting
Gina
me.
and I
So
went
this
out
is the
there.
room. So when my daughter experienced something, it was her room, and it was this corner right here where she saw a shadow figure with a hat, and she said he was wearing a blanket.
Oh, like
So
probably a
her
cloak.
bed was here going this way, and she said he flew from that corner into her wall.
Does he have long hair?
I would have to ask her.
Okay.
Let's go interrogate her right now. Like, hey, come here.
She's not home, or else I would bring her in here. I'm not gonna lie.
Man, that is interesting because also people would say that in those kind of situations, like the whole effect where everything is tilting, um, our brain is composed of water and electricity, and
hmm
certain magnetic fields that are on the ground, and this is not even like paranormal. So it's certain magnetic fields can actually trigger
Yeah.
those kind of feelings. They can trigger things like hallucinations and all that kind of stuff. But also, if you look at it through the paranormal like lens, I would say that since a lot of entities feed off of electrical whatever's around, like anything that they can feed, why wouldn't they be attracted to an environment that's like heavy
hmm
and I don't even know what to call it. It depends where you're at. Some of them are, yeah, well, some of them are triggered by like tectonic plates. They generate a lot of static like underground. So a lot of those. So I don't know. Maybe
Yeah.
they're all just hanging out at your house. So they're like, dude, there's like free, there's free food.
Well, in all honesty, I have felt that my daughter has had abilities since she was probably a baby. So in Oregon, we went in to this class that this amazing medium was having. His name's William Becker. I'm in touch with him to this day. He's incredible. Had a class with him, he wasn't really doing readings for people. But in the middle of this class, he stopped and he was like, I feel like I need to tell you something. And he pointed to me, my husband, and my mom.
Ooh.
And we just kind of looked at him like, okay. And he said, do you have a daughter? And I said, yes, try not to like give him too much information because you never know when you're first meeting them. And he said, okay, this may be a personal question. Feel free to ask me to step aside with you. But if you're comfortable, if you feel like answering, that would be great. Something along those lines. And he said, did you have a complication in your pregnancy? And only me, my husband, and my mom knew about that at the time. So I was like, yes. And he goes, okay, that night when you were in the bathtub waiting for your husband to come home, which not even my mom knew this story, he said, you had somebody there with you. when you had that feeling of calm come over you, you had somebody with you and he's going to stay with your daughter. We were like, okay. And he said, it's not from your side of the family, though, it's from yours. And he pointed at my husband, and we were like, what? And so he couldn't get a name out of this person that was coming to him, couldn't get a name out of him. Well, later on, we came to find out through another medium here in Idaho that it's my husband's Uncle Jamie.
Oh,
So I was like, okay, I kind of want to test this and see. So I showed my daughter a picture of him. He had passed away long before she was born, 10 years before she was born. I didn't even have a picture of him. And I showed her a picture of him. She knew exactly who he was. This story gives me chills. She knew exactly who he was. She hugged the picture. She gave him a kiss. She was like, I think she was 2 or 3 years old at this time.
yeah. That's...
So, and I feel like she still sees him and still communicates with him.
Every day.
Thank you. Yep. I can feel that she does. There's something about Emma where it's just like, you are powerful. And I tell her that every day.
That's good. Tell somebody, like, in general. I mean, when somebody's little, I mean, empower them. They have most of the team. See, that's cool. I wish I had abilities. The only ability I have is, mostly correct spelling.
Well, if I need to know how to spell a word, I now know who to go to.
Do you feel like it's a generation thing on your husband's side? This is like a generation thing. You do get feelings like I feel like you do have experiences, but I do feel like you believe in it, but you kind of play it off because you're trying to protect yourself.
Who are you talking to,
That's
me or
just
her?
me. Yes, Deacon. I am definitely saying that to you. Your spelling is atrocious.
Damn it. My mom was right. I was never going to amount to anything. Damn it. She said I was going to end up on some shitty TV show or, this is the closest I can
Well,
get.
and I've been wanting to open myself up more. And when I was invited to the group on Facebook, I was super excited. And then I found out you guys had a podcast. And I was like, oh, this is even better.
Until you watched it.
Amazing.
Until you watch the show and you're like, yeah, this is not what I thought.
I don't know if I want to do this.
Yeah, it's fucking unsubscribed right now.
Ash, you found out. Okay, speaking of spirits, right? You've been watching or listening to that one, and this one is Nightmare Road. So we're all the same,
I was gonna say,
we same club.
Yeah.
One show's good,
combining
the other one's
everything
suck.
into this.
I'll let you determine which one.
So it's interesting. I think and there's a lot of ability in your family, and so and your obviously your husband's side. I mean, his brother, then he wouldn't be.
His uncle was the one.
His uncle, okay, yeah, they have there. So you have two families that have abilities, and yeah,
it's amazing. I love my daughter so much. She's just incredible.
The
things that she can do and the things that she says, I'm just like, okay.
Yeah, what's interesting is like in the gypsy culture, or actually technically the Romani. In the Romani culture, a lot of what the families would do is there was a couple ways that they determined like who was gonna marry somebody. One of them was you go and you put your your palm up. Sorry, I have callus on my hands. I don't have an education, so.
Did you wash your hands?
Let me see. I did it last week. What am I going to waste water? Jeez, I thought we were.
We're gonna have to catch up on that.
Yeah, I thought you mediums were like all into the environment. Anyways, so you would take somebody's hand, and whoever hand like matches closely to somebody, it's like this is the person. That's my horrible Romanian accent. Like this is the culture. Or I can do like, yeah, it was Bane. Bane's like, oh, now you see that your hands match. Or you
Sounds like a bad wizard from
Look,
an 80s movie.
that sounds like the villain in every 1970s black cinema. Anyway, so okay, so another way was you take your most gifted Can we be serious,
Please.
please? Can we
I'm
stop?
serious. I'm done.
I'm so filled with rage right now. I'm about to get up and leave. I'm trying to be serious here.
Oh my God, whatever.
Listen, like wholeheartedly, I'm listening to you. Okay, calm
Yeah.
down.
Thank you.
We're listening.
Okay.
We're listening. We have our listening ears on right here.
If steam
here.
could come out of my ears right now, that would be perfect
Well,
because
I was wondering because I
in-
see it.
now I'm engulfed with rage. But
Okay,
can I continue, please?
Continue.
Please.
Continue.
See,
please.
this is why we should.
Great.
That's why I have such a low viewpoint on women. So okay, so anyway, so they would take their most gifted person, and then I'm gonna say it the way that to me it sounds like. So they would take the most gifted person, and they would breed them. They would breed them with somebody else with equal abilities so that they can have children that are gifted. And these were the people that were adorned. The children were adorned, and they were all kinds of different stuff.
I like how you say children. Children.
Children.
Did I say it with an accent?
You did.
Yes.
So,
Yeah, you did.
Children.
did I? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Anyways,
I love it.
thanks for stopping by, guys. This was an exciting.
nice-
Yeah, no
little
thanks.
children.
No, I like that. Please.
It's nice. Continue.
I wish I died as a kid.
Well-
Anyway, so
Well,
that's what was done. So yeah, they would offspring.
well, maybe that
They-
explains Gina's power, right? Because she's Romanian gypsy blood.
Oh, so she's
That would
Romanian.
make
So that means she doesn't have a sense of humor.
What? Oh,
Romanians don't have a sense of humor.
well,
When you go to Romania and you see a Romanian person and they're walking their dog, the look on their face, it's almost as if they were court ordered to walk this dog for 30 minutes a day. They're just, they're just like sitting there with, what do you look at? But anyways, so that was the
Okay.
joke.
I'm so lost.
So I have a question. I have a question for Jess about Ash.
Yeah.
So, well, maybe Ash's house.
Okay,
But
then ask me a question about Ash.
well, you're not a medium. Well, maybe you are and you hide it.
No, I actually
Yeah.
I wear large. So there you go.
I'm just saying,
Right.
if you sent your friend Crow over here to curse me because I was laughing at you, touche.
Yeah.
Gee.
Do you think, Jess, that there's something with the land too, where her house is?
I
That
do.
was some of the feelings that we got a little bit there.
Yeah, I do. I mean, honestly, if you really think about it historically, this was the Shoshone-Bannock tribe. You know, they used this land through everything. And I do feel there's a lot of that attached. Plus, there's a lot of stuff. Like Blackfoot was the main railroad stop to go from to Arco and back to east from Pocatello. So there's a lot of history here in Blackfoot. So
And the railroad's right by my house too. So
Oh, back
I'm gonna pause for a second.
so back to the whole thing with the railroad. Historically, the railroad was so okay. So the United States brought in Chinese people to work on this railroad, and a lot of them were. And this is one thing that people don't know is that slavery didn't end in the 1800s. Anyways, so these people were forced to build this railroad, and that's why there's Asian Chinese descendants in Idaho. But anyways,
What is that noise?
That is the crow.
Decon.
no,
will you go get your crow, please?
Hey, I don't need your advice.
what is
Thank you.
happening?
Okay.
Okay, so
The Chinese immigrants.
anyway,
Yeah.
so the Chinese
Yeah.
immigrants, and then a lot of them were brought here against their will. So there was always so much heartbreak. Some people would say, and this is some stories would say that when they were laying down the spikes were already rusted from some of their tears. But anyways, And so
Oh,
yeah,
that's
it's heartbreaking, but it's also like, really, come on, jeez, don't give me that shit.
Jeez.
What would they rather be, right? Come on, we have McDonald's, they're happy here. Anyways, so
Oh my god.
what?
Cheese and rice.
What? So,
God.
can I please finish my point?
Please.
Please.
So,
yes,
Or-
please do.
If we don't get our platform taken off,
see,
yeah,
now you're doing that thing where you scratch nervously because you're about to have a moment. And
I'm about to.
normally I'm just gonna blame the spider bites. That's what's happening. It's not me.
It could be.
So, yeah,
Ooh.
that's what it is.
Okay.
So the story is that there's like railroad tracks, they say there's so much like sadness and suffering and bad energy associated with it. So whenever there's tracks and you live near them, there's always like, hauntings or things like that. There's also like in places where it was extremely dark, they even say they see ghost trains. You know.
Yeah, there actually are ghost trains all over the U.S., but yeah,
I've heard that.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, what are some of the other experiences that you've had, Ash?
I would say the most experiences I've had were in our house in Oregon. That house would have drove you wild. You would have went back to that house. So we lived on the coast for a while. Then we moved to a small town to be closer to my husband's parents, and they had this house behind theirs, and we were like, perfect, we'll take it. Cheap rent, let's do it. Well, cheap rent comes with other things.
Yeah.
So, it
Those.
was definitely an older house. Only one, I think there was only one owner before us, and it was the man that actually built the house. So he had built it for his wife, really sweet, kind story, and then he died of cancer, and it gets not so sweet.
Yeah.
So,
Put asbestos in the house.
yeah, so I truly believe that man is still in that house. So when we first got there, and it was the first week that we were like moving our stuff in, and there was this back bedroom. Well, older house, it wasn't one of those doors with like the turny door handle that clicks shut. It was just push open, door, push shut, that type of deal. Kind of weird. Well, I noticed that there was a latch on the outside of this door. And at first I was like, oh, that's just kind of weird, but thought nothing of it. It was a bedroom, so I was like, oh, okay, it's fine. Didn't think much of it. So I'm putting stuff in this room, putting our stuff that we weren't putting in our house back there because we were using the other bedroom. And I was thinking to myself, well, I don't want my dog to come into this room and get stuck. So I'm going to latch the door shut. Well, the door was at the other end of this hallway, so I start walking down this hallway and I hear the latch come up and start swinging back and forth against the door. So at first I'm going, okay, maybe it was a drafty house, no big deal. I'll just go relatch it. Go back
So it
to
was
relatch
like a
it.
hook and eye, like a
Yeah, so
Yeah.
you got the little eye part, the circle, and then the latch goes inside it. So
Yeah.
yeah, one of those. So,
Yep.
you gotta literally lift it up to get it out.
Yeah.
It's not easily taken out. So, thought it was a draft. Continue walking down the hallway. Well, no, I latched the door and then continued walking down the hallway. Well, unlatched itself a second time. I was like, what is happening here? And then I hadn't really had any experiences probably since I had lived at my mom's house in Blackfoot. So I didn't really have any experiences at all. And so I was just kind of shook a little bit and just left the door as is and tried latching it again later. Well, when I latched it again later, I told myself, turn around and see what's happening. And I turned around and I literally saw this latch come up, swing out, and just start swinging back and forth.
That's interesting. I
It's
wonder.
your ancestor.
Is that?
What's that?
Go ahead, Messy Jesse.
No, I'm done. I'm done.
Oh,
It's okay. I was just telling her that it was her ancestor telling her.
get out of
So-
that haunted house.
Well,
Yeah.
so I've seen those videos on other paranormal teams, and here's the problem with today's TV, right? You don't know what's faked. You don't know
Mm-hmm.
what's fake. And so something like that happens to you in real life,
It's
and there's
like,
not somebody on the other side of the door, because what you can do is use a magnet and pull
yeah.
up, right? But there's no one there, and
No,
you're
it was
living
just me
there,
and my
you know
dog.
that. Then you're like, okay, this is real. This is really
Mm-hmm.
happening. But you see it on these shows, and you're like, oh, BS, it's not happening.
Yeah.
I mean, I question everything I see.
Also,
Yeah.
with those doors, I mean, with a lot of these things where people disprove the eye and hook theory, they're modern doors, and modern doors are hollow, so like something like a magnet can
Mm-hmm.
easily go through the side. Any door pre 1950s is actually solid. So yeah, good luck trying to get a magnet to.
Okay.
Yeah, also good luck. I live in a very old house, and when I first got here, some of these doors would jam, and it took a lot for me to kick those doors in because they were just built, to not be kicked in.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Well, that and the houses shift a little bit, and the
yeah.
doors don't hang right
Mm-hmm.
But
anymore, and
but
yeah,
like I was saying, yeah, it took a lot of force to get those doors open. I mean,
right.
and I just think like, man,
Yeah.
this is frightening. This is even more frightening than the time that I saw a group of ghosts. Turns out it was the Ku Klux Klan.
Well, and then in this house, like I would hear footsteps going up and down the hallway because it was the older wooden floors, like original hardwood floors. Would hear footsteps, and there was one night, me and my mom, we were outside on the porch. Already had put my daughter to bed. She had been walking for a few months at this point. Well, my mom heard the footsteps, and she goes, "I think Emma's awake." And I looked at her and I was like, "She's not awake." She goes, "No, someone's walking down the hallway.
Hmm.
It's not Emma. You can go look. It's not Emma." And she goes and looks, and my daughter's fast asleep. I was like, "I told you it's not Emma. That person, whoever it is, they're always here. They're always walking around. We always hear them. It's fine."
Yeah, and a child's footsteps is
Yeah,
way
leave me
different
be.
than an adult's too. You
Yeah,
know,
because she was probably maybe close to 2, so she's still at the little
the little
walking
hoppy
stage.
stage.
Yeah,
Yeah.
what my son is doing right now, the little.
Oh, I love that bouncy stage. Um,
Walking.
have
So
other than the things going on when we first went there and you got a hold of us, did you ever feel anything was negative?
Nope. I would
Okay.
say I don't think I have ever felt anything negative.
Okay.
Maybe neutral, not
Mm-hmm.
so positive, but not so much negative. I have
Mm-hmm.
felt in the past, but I don't think I've felt anything negative.
Okay. That's good. That's real good.
I
Mm-mm.
Sometimes I think that the energy like will show itself in shadows and everything
that's what I
else
was gonna
because
say.
that's
Mm-hmm.
We always
the only way
associate.
they can manifest, right? So,
I was gonna say
Yeah.
we always associate like dark like beings as like negative, but
right.
that's not always the case. You know.
Right.
No, it's not. From what I've learned, anyway, it
SOS
takes
caught
a lot to have
it.
something negative.
It isn't the case. So, Decon, you're really, really bad. So,
I'm
but
sorry. I'm just tired. I'm
yeah.
about to see some
But
ghosts.
it's not the case. I think, and a lot of times I think what we can see is shadow form. They may be presenting themselves, this is correct, Jess, that
Yeah.
they may be presenting themselves as full, but we can't see
See
it
that.
clearly.
Mm-hmm.
So we're seeing a shadow.
Like Bigfoot.
Yeah.
Like Bigfoot.
Bigfoot's
I
always
see him every day.
he's always blurry.
I see him every
Bigfoot
day.
is here, you
Bigfoot?
guys. Come on.
Ah man. So you're not afraid of the house. You don't think there's anything
No.
negative in the house. Have you ever been and this is for any of you. Have you ever been somewhere where you're like, I can't set foot in that place because that place is dark? Like yeah,
Yes.
you okay, like
Every day.
any contractor that Hillary Clinton hires. Yeah.
I
But no, but
I
When I walk into work, but
I I feel the darkness, but I'll step in it anyway.
You're like Batman.
I
She's testy.
Well, I kind of feel like, bring it on. I don't mess with me. And
Yeah.
that's kind of, and
I feel that.
I push him back, I push back on it. There's only been I don't know that, I mean, honestly, okay, honestly, there was one place I had to go into Folsom Prison a lot for different inspections I had to do. And other than the prison
that's
atmosphere that was so bad, there was one place in Old Folsom, which is now the county jail. In the rock building of Old Folsom, there was one place that it was very disturbing. I'm just positive that there was a lot of death there. I mean, a lot of inmates probably,
Yeah.
but it bothered me a lot. And even though I had to go in there for part of my job, it really bothered me.
Well,
If I didn't have to do my job, I wouldn't have gone.
You have so much negative energy in one place.
I thought you were saying her in
nowhere
general.
for it to go.
I was like, hey, now.
There's only one place.
Joke, but
Yeah. Yeah. Like, well, I don't feel, I mean, okay, Montana State Prison, been up there and done like 4 different things up there. And there was a lot of brutality there, and there was a lot of death there, and inmate deaths and killings and stuff like that. They had the hostages that were taken, but I don't feel the same there. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I'm not surrounded by inmates, when I'm in there. I don't know. So.
Like sometimes when you go into places, like there are some people who expect to have an experience, and so they hype themselves up, and they create this energy around them. They're like, oh, that's that, but they're really not trying to draw themselves in to really open and listen. Does that make sense? Like they're not trying to to understand and feel. For me, I feel things. Like I have to go in and I feel things, and it makes me step myself back and say, okay, what am I really looking for? Because people do watch these shows out there that dramatize a lot of things. And so unfortunately, there are people who do go in there and expect things, and they get very disappointed and upset because things don't happen right when they want them to.
What shows? I've never heard of these shows.
Listen, I've already screwed up today.
I think SOS knows.
You want to be like, completely bleeped out of the show today.
Yeah, it's like you are messy. We got to do a lot of cleaning up after you.
Oh my god.
Geez.
Well, yeah.
Oh man, I think there's only been one place where I was like truly like I am not going in there and you cannot make me. In Coos Bay, Oregon, there was this old hospital, and I can't remember what it was called. It's torn down now, I believe. I'd have to ask and see. But people broke out the windows and they would obviously go in there. And I had some friends that wanted to go in there, and I looked at them and I was like, no. And they asked why, and I was like, no, I'm not going in there. There's something wrong with this place. I'm not going. And I never went in. There's no way. I don't think I would even set foot on the grounds.
Wow.
It just feels dark.
Do you think it was like an old tuberculosis hospital, or was it more of a mental?
I lean more towards the mental hospital side. I don't think it would have been a tuberculosis one.
Okay.
I don't think so. I would have to look into it and see exactly what it was called, because it's been years since I've been there.
So many of the mental hospitals, there are so many horrific things that were done to the patients. But, yeah.
Science.
The one in Salem's pretty intense too. I've been in that one, and that one, I wouldn't say it's extremely negative, but it's more of a sad feeling than anything else.
Yeah.
So here's a question that I have, and it's a serious question. I don't want you guys to think that I'm just some kind of goofball. I could be serious, most of the day. You gotta not be smiling behind those hands the rest of us. I'm trying to
Not at all.
Okay, good. I'm trying to bare my soul here, and I feel like every time I have a serious moment, I'm always getting ridiculed, almost as if the only thing that I serve a purpose for in this show is that I'm a source for ridicule. And a lot of the times as I lay there in bed at night, I forgot the question I was going to ask.
Did you really have a question?
I did, and I completely forgot because I got lost in some kind of dumb,
Tangent.
yeah, tangent. And then I got
We were
subconscious.
talking about.
Why? What happened?
Just
Did you receive bad news? What's going on?
the damn crow keeps coming around.
Oh, or is it because you guys were ridiculing my form of speech?
So we were talking about some of the sadness and with the, did that help?
Okay, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Thank you.
Okay.
You're always so helpful. For a lot of the things that you say, you always seem to just reel me back and you reassure me over a lot of, because I have very low self-esteem. I don't know if you know. And a lot of the time.
Would you please ask your damn question?
You're gonna forget again.
Okay, I'll ask the question. Since I'm being pressured and feeling threatened now, I shouldn't have to do this show in fear. So when you feel like you go to an environment and in the environment is very sad, you feel like if you're somebody that has these gifts, you feel like sometimes your abilities get heightened because these people are like, oh, we can maybe this person can help me, because there's a lot of skeptics out there that say, oh, whenever you send a medium somewhere, that something bad happens, they always find something. But whenever I go, I never see anything. So who's telling the truth? You know what I'm trying to ask? Like, it's kind of
yeah.
So
I see where you're going.
So
I think that if anybody's open, they're gonna feel that.
Yeah, and I agree with that. There are people, again, like I said, who expect worse things. And when I or other gifted people go into places, not everything is negative. Not everything is murder. That's kind of annoying and kind of a slap in the face to us people who are actually true, authentic people. Who really do go in. Do we get everything right 100% of the time? No, I'm not even, but it's just these people who go out there and they're like, oh, I feel something. God.
Bro, I'm being affected. I'm being affected right now.
Love the dramatics.
There was that group that
Aaron, I'm being
from
affected.
England, and the guy was always possessed way before Nick Baggins was possessed on everything.
Hey, you call me by my real name.
Dildo Baggins?
Come on. Come on.
I'm sorry.
Perfect.
I was gonna say Scooby Doosh.
He drives me nuts.
Scooby Doosh, that's
what did I say last week? He's the Chris Angel of the paranormal.
Yeah.
Oh my god, yes.
But
like Aaron.
Hey, Aaron. Yeah.
I think he beats that poor guy. I think it's a
So okay, we have that paranormal class going on right now, and last week we had a ton of activity going on in the building, so we went ahead and just stopped the class and did an investigation.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was great. And so, but downstairs in the the auto shop, it's the College of Technology building. The guy that was there, the person that was there said he was the old shop teacher. He loves it. He never wants to leave. He loved the students. He loved teaching. Everything about, he was just like, he just never wanted to leave his space. Because he loves it so much. So not everything is negative.
It's like the dead Uncle Fred, right? Dead Uncle Fred.
Dead Uncle Fred.
Dead Uncle Fred. Yep. Happy prankster. Man. Sorry, we're approaching. What?
I was just thinking, Jesus was a race car driver.
What?
What? What?
What did you say?
I said Jesus was a race car driver. That's all I got in my brain. I don't know.
What is going on?
I have no idea.
Primus song. It's a Primus song.
Oh,
Aging myself. I'm sorry, continue.
When he took the wheel? Is that what you're saying?
Who's? Whose song?
Jesus. Primus. You know?
Primus.
Yes. You'll have to look it up.
I
Okay.
And now I have to.
I was
Yeah.
born in '88.
Hey, it's okay. You need a safe
You're a
word.
youngster. You're a youngster.
I'm a youngster, I guess, but if you look at me, I look like I've been dead for 4 years.
Oh, God.
Man, this was a great episode. We're gonna have to close it soon, but
I
He's so
love talking
disappointed.
to Ash about her stuff, about her experiences, and I would love for you to come back because
Yeah.
Oh, I would love to.
you do have more experiences, and I know that you have a ton of them, and
Yeah.
I'd love for you to share them if you want to.
I would love to.
That's amazing.
Well, it's nice because you have a good outlook on it. Not everything, you're not fearful, and as a mom with gifted kids, there's a lot of moms out there that have gifted kids, and
I
maybe
think
some
she might be
advice,
here.
knowing how you're navigating with that, that's huge.
Yeah.
Well, I just remember when I was little, I think my parents tried to turn it off. Because I noticed that with my mom, with my daughter, because she tried telling her, "Oh, baby, it's not real," and I was like, "Don't tell her that.
Right.
Mhm.
You don't know that. Do not tell her it's not real, because it very well could be. Just because you don't see it doesn't mean she doesn't see it. Do not tell her that."
Yeah, you don't want to put that doubt there.
No.
Yeah.
If she can enhance these abilities that she has and control them, please do.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Jess, were your kids, I'm sure, gifted? I'm assuming.
Yes, my oldest and my newest granddaughter is gifted. She's
You
only a
have
year.
grandchildren?
Yes.
You do
3.
not look like you should have grandchildren.
Yes,
Okay,
I'm 3.
anyways.
I'm 120 years old. So I'm a vampire. I'm not like the Twilight one.
Oh,
Okay?
I knew it.
Oh, so
I
you're a
knew
cooler one.
That's why she's in the shade. She's not actually out in the
Yeah.
sun.
Don't,
Got
I don't
crows
want to
following her and
know.
all that kind of weird stuff, and hurts my
Oh,
feelings on it.
I'm sorry, not really, but
Well, no, I enjoyed talking with you, Ash. I think it was great. I think, I love having people on talking about their experiences, because it's not just the three of us talking to people. It's you
Right.
sharing your experiences. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
It's important.
Yeah,
that
I
people
would love
understand.
to.
Well, did you laugh when
Awesome.
she said "peep"? Are you saying I'm not a person?
The three
I
of
haven't seen you in actual human form, just on camera, so I don't know.
I'm not even really here, and I just disappear.
Yeah.
it's AI.
I'm CGI. I'm like the first
Exactly. It could be.
gentleman.
You never know nowadays.
Yeah.
it hasn't glitched yet.
Yeah. It's been glitching the whole damn time. Why do you think I say ridiculous shit?
What was that? Max Headroom. Do you remember that, Jess?
Oh my
Max Headroom.
gosh.
You guys probably never heard of him, right? But he was the first, he'd glitch all the time. He was.
He'd be like,
Yeah, you guys have to look him up. It was awesome. What was
Sorry.
he, MTV or something?
Yeah, it was MTV. Yeah, but I can't remember what show it was. I was watching nightmare stuff with what's his name? The skeleton. All right, kiddies. Yes.
Yes.
Yep. Or Guilford Godfrey at the night.
Oh, geez.
Anyway.
Gilbert Gottfried.
God.
That guy. Yeah. Like, I have a great show for
I
you
think
kids.
I was watching Chucky movies.
Oh my God. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, Chucky. It was so funny. I like those. Now they make no sense. Like, just kick him over, because it's Chucky.
I know,
Right.
right?
He's like,
Right.
Haru, hurrah, hurry, and then he just runs at you with the knife. Oh, just kick him. Don't stand
Wow.
Everybody just waits until
Stand
they're
there?
butchered.
there. Yeah.
I'm
Anyways,
thinking of
guys.
Leatherface.
Okay. All right. We already talked about Hillary Clinton. Anyways, this is a serious show, so let's hurry up and close it. Let's be done with the fantasy and all that stuff. This was a great episode, guys, and be sure to share it with everybody. Somebody in there that you believe that they need this in their life, because they're going through something, and you're like, you know what? Let's make this worse. Just show them the show. Show them this shitty show. Also, we have a Patreon, so you guys head on over to
Yes.
the Patreon. You know, you guys get a lot of good stuff. I talk about my dumb stuff. So, like, if you guys like listening to incoherent rambling, you know, watch a Joe Biden speech. Anyway, no, go to the Patreon. Go to the Patreon.
Holy shit.
Go to the Patreon.
Yes,
Okay,
Patreon.
yeah.
We have a lot of content, and we have more. Like Jess and I are going to be doing some stuff. We're going to have so much fun on Patreon.
Yeah,
So
head on over to the Patreon. We
Yes.
I'll try not to be messy this time.
yeah, geez.
Okay.
on Patreon, we can say whatever we want.
Yeah. So also we have merch. We have everything from shirts, get your mugs, get your pillows, and all kinds of stuff. I drew it. You know, I draw pictures. So
Very good artist.
Who would want a pillow of your face?
yeah, well, not me, not my mom, certainly. Like, if you send that to pills with my face to my mom, she'd be like, "What is this shit?" But she's like, I should have smothered you with a pillow when you were a kid. Anyways, so
This went dark.
Escalated quickly.
Yeah, so check out the merch. I got some stuff on there.
Yes, check out the merch.
Yeah, check out the merch. Go buy a pillow. Go buy a mug for your mother. It was just Father's Day, so. Oh, we have hats now. So, anyways, guys, that's it. And to like and subscribe. What are we at? $6.99. We almost got our 700. So we just,
I think,
so we
$6.99.
just need
But
one more. So, anyways, guys, yeah, and remember to always look both ways, especially when you're. I forgot the outro. How does that go? When you're crossing Nightmare Road.
no, there you go.
Jeez.
Beep beep.
Yeah. Oh man.